Hello, welcome back. Okay, so yesterday, we started with our 5 sheet folder journal, and we made the folder that's going to be the cover of our journal. So today we're going to start with the cutting guide, page 1. Okay, cutting guide number 1. Cut 2 full 12 by 12 sheets using this template. Okay, I want to use, which ones do I want to use? I think I want to use these two. Template 1, or cutting guide 1, I shouldn't say template there. I need to update this because I also want to say cut this line first or whatever. Anyway, if you're going to have one that's directional, this is the one that you want your directional paper to be on. And I had 3 random and only 1 directional, so I think we'll be fine. But I am not going to cut these together. This paper is textured. I don't think you can see it. It's almost like a linen texture to it. My cutter doesn't like it. It gets really cottony, and I get a bunch of this stuff. So anyway, all right, so let's look at our template here. I'll try to set it here so you can see it. We're going to cut it this way first, and I can't really leave it there. Let's see, if I put it there, will you be able to see? So I'm going to do 1 sheet at a time. Let's do the directional one so that you can see. This is the top. Okay, I want to cut this line first, so I'm going to turn it this way and pull out the arm. So the top piece is, okay, it's in half, at 6 inches. Okay, so we're going to cut this one in half at 6. This is the bottom. This is the top. We are going to cut this again at 3. That's this line here. Okay. And then I'm going to stack these. I think will be okay. And I'm going to cut these at 4. Now these are going to be journal cards. Aren't they cool? Look, it looks like it was printed that way. I knew it would be cool. I really like that. Those look awesome. Those are going to be really cool pockets. Well, these aren't pockets. These are journal cards, but either way, you get the idea. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, these are going to be tickets. No, they're not. These are going to be tags. So I'm going to cut this in half. We're now doing these. They're all 3 by 6. I'm going to cut it in half at 6. Stack it. They're not going to be exactly the same, but now I'm going to cut this at 3. And maybe it is my cutting. I don't know, because I'm off another 1/8 of a quarter, 16th. Never mind. I'm off. Okay, what else is new? I made myself a little template here, and what I like to use is a 1/2 inch on a 2 by 4 and a 3/4 inch on a 3 by 6. So this is a 3 by 6. So let's go ahead and use that template. And there's 4 of these, right? So I'll just do these 2 first, and we will clip these corners. That way we remember these are tags. And I flipped the template over as well. Just have to remember not to cut into it because I used a little piece of chipboard. And then I'm going to go ahead and... Anybody else have this problem? My handles, the little silicone handles, they want to come off all the time. So I'm going to center these and punch. Okay, now let's do these two. These we can just use this as a guide. Slightly faster. Put a little hole in the middle so I know where to punch. Oh, that's way off. I'm not punching it. I'll put, yeah. It's on the left. Yeah, it's off. It's this one. That one looks okay. That's all right. We'll just, once you get your little piece of fiber in there, it's not that noticeable. Alright, let's get the scraps cleaned up. Now these are going to be journal cards, and what I like to do with journal cards is corner punch, corner round. So we've got 6 of these, so I'm going to do 3 and 3. I could do all 6 at once, but my puncher doesn't really care for it. Oops. Alright, so there's 3. And I'm just realigning them every time because they are not identically sized. Alright, which it doesn't matter, but those are so cool. I'm excited. I'm excited about the way that page turned out. Okay, so that's one sheet. Now we're going to repeat that for this sheet. Alright, so this one is non-directional, so I'm just going to cut it in half at 6. Cut this one again at 3. I'm going to measure this really quick. Yeah. It's slightly over 12. Alright, so these are going to be 4. So I want to come right up to that line. Like cover the line. See if that makes any difference. Pretty good. Okay. So there's our journal cards. And cut this in half at 6. There's a shadow, so I'm not seeing exactly. I think I did pretty good. I'm still off. That's okay. Alright. So there is our other journal cards. I'm going to go ahead and punch these. And you can see this corner chomper, it's heavy duty, man. It's I don't always do all 6 at the same time, as you just saw, but it is way faster, and it does do it. It's my hand that doesn't like it, not the chomper. Alright, so let's use one of these as the template really quickly. And, you know, let's do it this way. Split the difference. Alright. A little tricky when you have a white line on there. There we go. Alright, I'm not using that to punch the holes this time. They're not going to be the same. It doesn't really matter anyway. Let's go there. Okay, so we did both sheets. We've got 12 tags, 12 journal cards. Let's clean up a little bit here. This is making a mess, this. It all comes out these holes. I never, hardly ever, empty it out the top. Every time I set it down, I keep it in a little bin up here, and the other day I emptied out that bin and it was just full of those little corners. All right, so let's go to cutting guide number 2. All right, cutting guide number 2 has some pockets and some tuck spots. It has a tag that goes both ways. Now let's look at this one. I don't have anything else that's directional, but if I did, I think I would probably do it here, because you know all of these doesn't really matter, but I like to have my tags going the same way, but it's not going to matter for this one. So let's do, I think I want this to have my large tags, so we're gonna use this one. So let's look at this. We want to find the first cut, and the way you find that is the line that goes all the way across. So that does not go all the way across. These stop here. This is the one we're going to start with. Okay, so what that means is we're going to cut off 4 inches off the top. Okay, and that is going to be, let me see how much of this you can see in here. You can't really see, but we're going to do this row first. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside, and we are going to, I'm running out of room because I have too many projects on my desk. We're going to cut this at 3.5. Okay, 3.5, 3.5. Okay, so 3.5. Okay, that's the hazards of doing this cutting upside down. Okay, and 3.5. The next one says 2, so we're going to cut a 2x4 tag. Okay, and that leaves us the 3x4 tuck spot. Okay, so we're going to set those aside. I leave them in order. Usually I remember what it is I'm cutting, but okay, so on this one we're going to do 2 tags. Because it's non-directional, I can just cut the 4 off on either end. So there's a 4x8 tag, and if it was directional, I mean, if it doesn't really matter, but I could turn this way, like the cutting guide says, but this should be an 8x8 piece, right? So let's measure. 8, it's close enough. Yeah, it's off that, just that ever so much. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the second tag here, and because this is an all over pattern, it doesn't really matter which direction, but you can see it's starting to cotton up on the edges. Let me tell you how I get that off. I just come along here with this, and that usually will take it, most of it off. Not too much work. There we go. It's very cottony. Okay, so now we have this piece here, and we want to make the corner tuck, a small tag, and a tuck spot. So we're going to cut 3, 2, 3, and we are going to do it. Let me get rid of all this gunk. Okay, so 3 and 2. I don't know why this is falling out so much today. Oh, now it's stuck. What in the world? I wish I could find the blades. These are not the blades that go with this. Alright, what was I on? 2. Line it up at 2. Okay, and then I'm left with a 3 again. Okay. Now, let's revisit. We have 2 big tags. Let's start there. two big tags, and I'm going to find my corner thing, because I like, for the 4x8 tags, I like a 1-inch corner. And what does that 1 inch mean? It means an inch from the corner both ways, okay? 3/4 of an inch from the corner both ways, 1/2 inch both ways, and then I cut across, okay? So we're going to use a 1 inch on this one. I remember when I got my Cricut and I was making some tags. I had a tag pattern in my account, and I wanted to make some tags, and I thought, oh, I'll just enlarge them. Well, when I printed them out, the hole was humongous because it had a hole in it. So my holes were like 1/2 inch in diameter. Pretty. I like those. Okay, let's punch a hole. Speaking of holes, and right there. All right, so there we have 2 large tags. Okay, continuing on with this, we have a small tag, and these are tuck spots. Okay, here is another small tag, and then these 2 are pockets, and this is another corner tuck. Okay, so the tuck spots and the corner tuck, I'll show you what I'm talking about. The tuck spots and the corner tuck are both all 3x4, so it doesn't matter which one is which. I think I'm going to cut this one diagonally, and then that leaves us with these 2. So what I do is I'll put them face to face, and I'll round one of the corners, and that will give me, because I like my corner tuck to have a left and a right. Doesn't matter which way you use them, but I like to have one of each, just because of the way that I work in a journal. Okay, so those are ready to go with our tags. Now this is the one we want to cut diagonally, and what I do is I'll put that in here like this and use a little pencil mark. Well, actually, don't need that open, to measure 1 inch. Well, I can't see the line on this side, so let me move it. 1 inch, flip it around, 1 inch, and then I will put this in here and line up those little tick marks. Make sure you hold your paper because it will slide, and then I have my 2 small little corner tucks. Okay, I like those little corner tucks. All right, so here we have our 2 small tags, and I will clean these up when I get ready to decorate them. For the 2x4, and like I said, I just labeled this so I can remember which one really quickly. I want to use the 1/2 inch. There we go. Clip and flip. You can flip the tag or you can flip the template. Okay. All right. And there we go. 2 small tags and corners everywhere. I don't know where they all went. All right, so what is left is our pockets. Now I did these different this time. You could move these horizontal if you want horizontal pockets. I'm going to make these vertical pockets, and I think it we'll see how we do. I may stack these, but I'm going to go ahead and use my envelope punch. This desk is only so big, and I have no room at the sides to set things. Okay, so which one do I want the top? I think I like that this way and this way. Okay, so I'm just going to do those together. And because they are 3.5 by 4, I'm going to do 1 3/4. Yes. Okay, like that. And I just think those look cool. All right, so that is that template. or cutting guide, shall we say. Don't put him too far because I'm going to need him again. All right, so let's do our last one. This one has a 5" for the main cut here. You could start here. It's also a 5 cut, but I always do the horizontal. Why not? Because the other two are horizontal, so it keeps me in track. You don't want to cut it one way and then forget which way you went. So if you stay with the horizontal, it'll be easier. For me, it's easier. Okay, so we're going to cut off a 5" piece. There we go. All right, now with this 5" piece, we're going to cut another 5" piece. All right, so we're going to have a 5x7 piece up here at the top. Okay, I'm going to set that one aside. This is a 7x5. We're going to cut this in half vertically to 2.5. That's going to give us our tuck, either a side tuck or a flip. Now, if you want a side tuck, you can just use it like so. If you want to flip, you will score down the middle and fold it, and then you can attach it to the edge of the page and you'll be able to write on it. I want to use these as side flips this time, so I'll probably do that. So there's nothing else needs to be done to these. Okay, at this point. This is our corner pockets, and I'm going to show you again. Corner pockets / horizontal belly band. So I'm going to cut off 1 inch. So 5 minus 1 is 4. I'll line that up at the 4" and that's going to be my horizontal belly band. Don't need to do anything else to that. And then here we're going to repeat the process for this pocket. So we're going to need to be able to see that 1" there. And there. I'm going to stick this in here. And hold that good. All right. These are our large corner pockets. All right, so now we have the bottom 7x12. The first thing I want to do with this is I kind of go large to small, so I'm going to cut off the other 5" piece. And I just, this cutter, you know, stops at 5 and blah. All right, so leaving this the way it is, I'm going to cut off another 1" piece for the other belly band. So lining that up at 4, and that gives me a 1x7 belly band. I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to cut these in half at, what size did I say this was? 7? Yeah, so we're going to cut these in half at the 3.5 because it's already 4 inches wide. All right, so these could be horizontal pockets. I want to make them vertical because I made the other ones vertical. So I'm just going to use my corner punch at 1 3/4. Okay, there we go. My envelope punch board, which is broken, but still works. I guess that's a good thing. All right, so there's my 2 pockets. That's that last piece here, and this piece is 7x7. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take off this banner strip, and then we will take off the ticket strip, and then we will cut the remainder in half because that'll leave us a 6x6, and then we will make 2 medium tags. So I do still need the arm, so I'm going to do banner, ticket, and then I'm going to cut this at 3, 2 tags. All right, now that's it for the cutting. Well, for the cutter. All right, so let's do these tags. These are 3 by 6, so I want my 3/4 side. Guess I should check and see if you're still recording. I have 3 minutes. Oh my gosh, I better hurry, because you know I am wordy, but we're almost there. All right, so there are our tags. Let's punch a hole. All right, and there's nothing to do to these. Is that it? We did the pockets. We did everything. So, oh, no. These are not the belly bands. Okay, I did the belly bands in there. This is our banner strip. So, we have 2 1/4 and 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. Now you can cut these manually. I like to cut them with my punch board. These are our tickets. These are going to be 2 and 2. And you can leave those together or cut them apart. All right, so envelope punch board. And we are going to line this up with the edge of the pointer, or whatever, I call it a guide. There we go. It gives you a nice little banner tail. Okay. Okay. Banners are done. All right. And on here, all we're going to do is punch out the corners. I've kind of misplaced my good corner punching, so I'm just going to use this. And you could just diagonal cut the corners too. That would work just as well. But there we go. Now they are tickets. So there we go, guys. This is all of the ephemera for our journals, and I will be back and we will decorate. See you next time.